Act is in tries. Pick 3 wagering. First half of the early daily double. Field at 10, no changes. The one is Grand Kiss Charm by Gregory Luther of Gahanna, Ohio, and Tony Shumick of Dublin, Ohio, trained by John Robinson. Greg Luther is up. The 2 is Wild Cammy by John Ingram of Eaton, Ohio, and Harry Delaney of Dayton, Ohio, trained by John Ingram with Justin Hall. The 3 is Big Sky Country, owned and trained by David Cooper of Sabino, Ohio, Sandy Beatty at the lines. The 4 is Rocks Big Boy by Michelle Omer of Galloway, Ohio, trained by Brad Omer with Bob Harper. The 5 is Flaming Rocky, owned by Jason Barton of Lebanon, Ohio, trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. Number 6 is Fire 1 and 2, owned and trained by Tommy Lee Smith of Lebanon, Ohio, with Dan Noble up. The 7 is Colby's Future by Joseph Shemaiah of Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Lamar Moody with Jeff Ace Nicesonger. Number 8 is Lada Jones, owned by Vernon Byers Jr. of Mechanicsburg, Ohio, trained by James Byers with Jim Daly up. The 9 is Sable Scooter by Patricia Tatum of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Karen Seifert with Joe Adamski. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Barb's Cloud Dancer, owned and trained by J. Tom Gray of Dayton, Ohio, Jason Brewer in the sulky. That is the field for the first race, claiming handicap pace of 1 mile, exact as tries. Pick 3 wagering. First half of the early daily double, field at 10. No changes, the 10, Barb's Cloud Dancer double. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and stepping out of there for the lead. Middle of the track, there goes the 4, Rocks Big Boy. Driving through from the inside of there is Grand Kiss Charm. Hung out there, 3 deep is Flaming Rocky. Away and 4 to the outside. That is Fire 1 and 2. Wave 5 from off the second tier is Barb's Cloud Dancer. 6th there along the inside of that is Wild Cammy. Looking to drop in there. 7th is Sable Scooter. 8th along the rail is Big Sky Country. 9th there, that is Colby's Future. And 10th and trailing the field, that is Lada Jones. And Jim Daly can see them all as they step by the opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went to the snappy 27 3/5 as they pass on by the stand for the first time and head on down to the half and clearing to the front. Flaming Rocky, but right back on the outside. Here is Rocks Big Boy and Bob Harper on the retake. And now rushing up on the outside, Grant Kiss Charm and Greg Luther is looking to take the lead here as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. And Grant Kiss Charm clears to the frontier. Rocks Big Boy yielded for a garden spot, racing in 2. Flaming Rocky is racing in 3rd. First over the outside in 4th, that is Sable Scooter. As they reach the half, they're halfway home, 56 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside with Grant Kiss Charm leading the way here. Along the inside, Rocks Big Boy is going along in 2. Flaming Rocky has closed the gap, racing in 3rd. 4th to the inside is Barb's Cloud Dancer, beginning to labor the outside in 5 is Sable Scooter. Swap up 3 deep on the outside there, that is Fire 1 and 2. Locked in at the rail is Wild Cammy. To the outer flow there, that is Lada Jones, and also outside of there, that is Colby's Future and Big Sky Country. 3/4 and 126 and 1/5. Go pace the final turn and head for home, and on top, Grant Kiss Charm with the lead here to the inside. Rocks Big Boy is trying to battle back to him in 2nd. Off the turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Grant Kiss Charm with the lead, but Rocks Big Boy is coming to him and coming on along with Flaming Rocky, and way out wide, that's Lada Jones, but at the wire, Grant Kiss Charm in front. Getting up for 2nd was the 8, Lada Jones. 3rd was the 4, Rocks Big Boy. Down to the mile, 156 1/5, Grant Kiss Charm. Trackside of the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of the first race, claiming handicap pace, kicking off the early daily double. Now your official winner, timed at 156 1 to be greeted by Chrissy Fount, as she'll do throughout the evening. Here's the 1, Grand Kiss Charm. H-Roll Bay Horse by Bomb Rickles out of a Charms Treasure Mare. She by Treasure Reeve, owned by Gregory Luther of Gahanna, Ohio, and Tony Shumick of Dublin, Ohio. Posting the 3rd win in 2003, trained by John Robinson. Nicely handled cheer this evening by Greg Luther. Down to the mile, 156 1, the 1, Grand Kiss Charm. 1-8 exact at 34.20, 1-8-4 try, 99.60. Second race, condition trot of 1 mile, a purse of $2,400. Exacta trifecta, pick 3 wagering, scratch the 7, shops for dresses sec. The one is Piggy Tails, owned by Sugg of Deshler, Ohio, and Hutchison of North Ridgeville, Ohio, trained by Ivan Sugg with Sandy Beatty. Number 2 is Contagious by the Boyard Farm of Greenville, Ohio, trained and driven by Jeff Boyard. Number 3 is Carter's Nixie by Eads, Park, and Sizemore. They're of Ohio and Kentucky, trained by John Eads with the drivers changed to Justin Hall. Number 4 is Cherry Tree Luke by Alan Kirchenbaum of Burbank, California, trained and driven by Joe Adamski. Number 5 is Stay at Home Mom by Tom Crouch of Lexington, Kentucky, trained and driven by Dick Richardson Jr. Number 6 is Count of Marty Krista by Kaysoon Lavelle of Hilliard, Ohio, trained by Mr. Todd Christie. Jim Daly is out. The 7 Shops for Dresses is out sick. The 8 Adele's Fancy by Richard Klontz of Middletown, Ohio, trained by Richard Klontz with drivers changed to John Collins. John Collins. The 9 is American Starlet K. Owned with Leslie is Robert Key and John Glespin. They're of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, trained by Jim Artledge Jr. with Bob Harper. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Scotty Rocket by Susan and Phil James. Trained by Phil James, Kyle Later in the sulky. That's the field for the second. Break the 1, Piggy Tails before the start. They're off and trotting and firing away from the outside. There goes the 8, Adele's Fancy. Off stride went the 9, American Starlet K. From the inside, there is Contagious, who's driving out for the lead. Contagious and Boyard, the front end tier. On the inside, Adele's Fancy drops in the garden spot, racing in 2. From off the second tier, trotting in 3rd, that is Scotty Rocket. Along the inside, trotting in 4th, that is Carter's Nixie. Cut to the outside of there in 5, that is Cherry Tree Luke. 6th there along the inside is Stay at Home Mom. 7th along the rail, that is Count of Marty Krista. And then back to the 2 breakers here, which are Adele's Fancy and Piggy Tails. Can see them all as they trotted by the opening quarter in 30 seconds flat. They'll charge by the stand for the first time and head on down to the half with Contagious and Boyard fronting the field here by a length and a half. Along the inside, Adele's Fancy is trotting in 2. Along the inside, trotting in 3rd, that is Scotty Rocket. Caught to the outside in 4th, that is Cherry Tree Luke. On the inside in 5, that is Carter's Nixie. Up on the outside, second over in 6th, the Stay at Home Mom as they trot around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. And Contagious fronts the field here and took over to the half in 102 and 4/5. A pedestrian second quarter of 32 and 4. Off the turn and driving down the backside of these maiden trotters. And on top, Contagious running the field here, leading it by a length and a half. On the inside, Adele's Fancy is trotting in 2 and now swung up 3 wide to the outside. Here comes Stay at Home Mom, and Dick Richardson Jr. has sent this one underway. To the inside in 4th, that is Scotty Rocket. To the outside, trotting in 5. That is Cherry Tree Luke, and swung up 3 wide to the outside in 6th, American Starlet K. Wheeling by 3 quarters in 132 and 3/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. And Contagious, your even money punter's choice, leads it here by length and a half. Along the inside, Adele's Fancy is ready to pounce on her from second. Off the turn to the top of the stretch. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Contagious is being set down with a stretch drive. Adele's Fancy is off stride. Stay at Home Mom is charging on late with Scotty Rocket, but at the wire, Contagious gate to wire. Very close for second. Photo for Poison Show. The top of the mile, 2:02. 2/5. Contagious, first career victory. 'Well, here she is, the unofficial winner of the second race. Breaking her maiden here in 2:02 and 2/5. Here's the 2, Contagious. A 3-year-old bay filly by Donna Rail, out of a Rachel's Money. She by Striking Sombra by the Boyard Farm of Greenville, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven to victory by Jeff Boyard. The 2, Contagious, 2:02, 2/5. In the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation, Rooster Softball. Welcome to Scioto Downs. 2.5 exacta 880, 210 exacta 3080, 2.510 try, $76 even, 210.5 try. We'll get back to it. Early double 1-2, $17 even. $210.5 try, $138.60. Ten, 11 minutes away. Scratch the 3 West Country Star judges. Exacta trifecta pick 3 wagering a field of 8. The 1 is Jim and Jerry by Glenn and Robin Schmidt of Slide, Ohio, trained and driven by Bruce Schmidt. The 2 is Tiger's Image by Stephen Fobel and Denise Odell, Greenville, Ohio, trained by John Robinson with Kane Kaufman. The 3 West Country Stars out judges. The 4 is Fritzy J-Lo, owned by McHenry Fritz and Fritz, all of the Buckeye State, trained by Richard Fritz with Kyle Ader. Number 5 is Andrew's Dreams, owned by Ronald Love of Westerville, Ohio, trained and driven by Justin Hall. The 6 is Saxton Soul by Sasho Stefanoski of Gahanna, Ohio, trained and driven by Bob Harper. The 7 is Beach Assault by the AWS Stables of Lima, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Jeff Nicesonger. The 8 is Go Richie Go, owned and trained by John Nelson, parent of Lebanon, Ohio, with Dan Noble. And for the outside of the 9 is Boone Forever by Sherry Myers and Diane Smith, both of the Buckeye State, trained by Sherry Myers, Sandy Beatty, and the Sulky. Getting set for a start, field in motion. They're all fan pacing and driving out for the lead. Middle of the track, there goes the 4, Fritzy J-Lo. Also from the outside, Beach Assault is on the go. In between horses, Saxton Soul come away racing in 3rd. The inside racing in 4th. That is Tiger's Image. Driving on from 5th, that is Andrew's Dreams. A gap at 2 and 6, that is Jim and Jerry. Dropping in 7th there, that is Go Richie Go. And 8th and trailing the field is Boone Forever. Can see them all as they step towards the opening quarter and on top of the field with the lead Beach Assault, but now grinding it out of the outside. Here's Andrew's Dreams through the opening quarter of a wicked 27 seconds flat for these. And onto the front interior with the lead, that is Beach Assault. But now driving up on the outside, Andrew's Dreams is right there alongside of the leader. Watching over the dueling leaders from 3rd, that is Fritzy J-Lo. A gap of 2 lengths there. Racing in 4th, that is Saxton Soul. Move to the outside in 5 is Jim and Jerry. Moving to the outside of there. In 6th is Tiger's Image. As they race towards the half, they're halfway home, 56 3/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside, and on top of the field from the inside, Beach Assault leads it here by a head. Up on the outside, Andrew's Dreams been taking the torture chamber mile the outside in 2, and now swung up 3 wide of the outside. Here comes Saxton Soul, and swung up 4 wide of the outside, Jim and Jerry, and buried at the rail is Fritzy J-Lo coming to the outside of there as they race towards the 3/4 mile mark of the race. And on top of the field from the outside, Jim and Jerry blows right on by here. Next competitor up on the outside, Fritzy J-Lo, 3/4 and 126 3/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and it's wide open here. Jim and Jerry with the lead, and up on the outside, racing in 2, Fritzy J-Lo, middle of the track, Saxton Soul, and swung up 4 wide of the outside, Go Richie Go. Off the turn and less than an 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Jim and Jerry with the lead. Fritzy J-Lo is going to get no closer here. Coming to the wire, Jim and Jerry in front. Fritzy J-Lo to go 2nd. Tiger's Image was 3rd. Down to the mile, 157 flat. Jim and Jerry in a new lifetime mark. First career victory. Trackside of the winner's circle, the official winner of the 3rd race, Danielson Geldings, condition climbing pace, timed at 157 flat to establish a new lifetime mark from off the rail. Here's the 1, Jim and Jerry. A 4-year-old bay gelding by Earth Invasion out of a Henry's Affair mare. She by Henry Let's Go by Glenna and Robin Schmidt to Slide, Ohio, trained and driven by Bruce Schmidt. Posting the first win over the last 2 years, timed at a new lifetime mark, 157 flat. The 1, Jim and Jerry, your official winner. 1-4 exacta, $53 even. 1-4-2 try, 306.40. Pick 3, 303, 136.60. Lifetime mark, 157 flat, 1440, 544, 40. Finishing 2nd of the mile was the 4, Fritzy J-Lo, returning 282.40. 3rd was the San Northern Star, owned by Bill Sanders of Stevenson, Alabama, trained by Jim Ortledge Jr. with a K-Man, Kane Kaufman. Number 2, Wine Roses and Candy is out sick. The 3 is Mara's Mojo. Jeff Cahill's Budweiser Best Bet of the Night is owned by Brent Allen and Misty Joe Perry in Medina, Ohio, trained by Danny Perdue with Sandy Beatty. The 4 is Aoli Hanover by Steve Jones of Montgomery, New York, trained by Sam Chip Noble III with Dan Noble. The 5 is Matilda Sage, owned by Michael Bardo, Bradford, Ohio, trained by Danny Perdue with Jim Daly. The 6 is Dorothy's Jate, owned by Dorothy Gear of Lakewood, Colorado, trained by Jim Ortledge Jr. Bob Harper is up. And the 7 is Jenna's on Jody by Kenneth Sommer of Sheffield, Ohio, trained by Kelly O'Donnell, Kyle Ader, Ian Hersalki. Getting set for a start, field in motion. They're off fan pacing and driving out of there for the lead. There goes Matilda Sage. Right alongside is Ailey Hanover. Coming away in third, that is Mara's Mojo. Inside and racing in fourth, that is Dorothy's Jade. To the inside in 5 is Jenna's on Jody. And 6th and trailing the field, that is Sand Northern Star from off the rail as they pace around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Matilda Sage leads the way here by a length and a half. Along the inside, Ailey Hanover's racing into, and now here comes Mara's Mojo ranging up first over the outside here as they move by the opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went in 29 seconds flat as they scamper on past the stand for the first time and driving up on the outside. Mara's Mojo and Sandy Beatty forges onto the front end here. Matilda Sage yields for a garden spot, racing in 2. Along the inside, Ailey Hanover racing in 3rd. Shuffle back, racing in 4th, that is Dorothy's Jade. Along the inside in 5 is Jenna's on Jody, and 6th and trailing the field, Sand Northern Star. In straight alignment as they wheel around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. And Mara's Mojo, your punter's choice, 1-9 favorite, took him to the half in 1 minute flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Phillies' heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Mara's Mojo. Leading the way here comfortably by a length and a half. Ailey Hanover's at the leader's wheel disc in 2 and is grinding it out first over. Along the inside, Matilda Sage is going along in 3rd. 2nd over on the outside on 4th. That is Jenna's on Jody. Buried the rail in 5 is Dorothy's Jade, and 6th and trailing the field, Sand Northern Star. As they race towards 3/4 and Mara's Mojo battling back from the inside. 3/4 and 1:28 and 3/5. Backside 28 and 3. Onto the front end we go with Mara's Mojo. Leading the way here by a half. Ailey Hanover is up on the outside, bearing down in 2. Along the inside, Jenna's on Jody is 3rd, and out 3 wide for the stretch drive, Dorothy's Jade. Less than a 16th of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Mara's Mojo is responding here. She will go undefeated. She'll be 4 of 4. The 2-year-old Bay Filly by Jenna's Beach Boy. Mara's Mojo in front. Ailey Hanover to go 2nd. Dorothy's Jade was 3rd. Time of the mile, 1:57 flat. Mara's Mojo in a new lifetime mark. Trackside of the winner's circle, the official winner, the 4th race. The 4th leg of event number 7 for 2-year-old pacing fillies remaining undefeated. Time to the new lifetime mark, 1:57 flat. Here's the 3, Mara's Mojo. A 2-year-old bay filly by Jenna's Beach Boy out of a perfectly honest mare. She by Big Towner by Brent Allen and Misty Joe Perry in Medina, Ohio. Trained by Danny Perdue. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Sandy Beatty. New lifetime mark, 1:57 flat, the 3, Mara's Mojo. 3-4 exact to return $4.60. 3-4-6 try, return $20.60. Pick 3, 3 of 3, $19.60. And reminder, the show wagering is being refunded. Refunding the show wagering for race 4. By Glenn and Robin Schmidt of Saline, Ohio, trained and driven by Bruce Schmidt. The 2 is Glowing Siren by Jan McPherson of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Jan McPherson with Dan Noble. The 3 is Electric Days by Jason Young of Asonia, Ohio, trained by John Robinson with Bob Harper. The 4 is Shocking Magic, owned by Long of Jeffersonville, Ohio, and Long of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, trained by Alvin Long with Jeremy Smith. The 5 is Our Darby Dreamer by the Darby's Edge Stable and Dreamer Morgan, both of the Buckeye State, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. with Jeff Neisonger. Number 6 is Unexpected Return by John McDonough of Springfield, Ohio, trained by Chris Justice with Kyle Ader. The 7 is Kiss This Goodbye by Broombaugh of Arcanum, Ohio, and Bixler of Greenville, Ohio, trained by Dave Broombaugh with Jim Daly. The 8 is Moonlight Glitz, owned by Belinda Upchurch of Upper Arlington, Ohio, trained by Dan Conkright with Sandy Beatty. And for the outside of the 9 is Perfect Daiquiri, owned by Sherry Myers and Diane Smith, both of Ohio, trained by Sherry Myers with the K-Man, Kane Kaufman, in her sulky.
They're
all fan pacing and pacing out of there from the outside. There goes Perfect Daiquiri. In between horses, Shocking Magic. From the inside, there is Glowing Siren. Also on the go, that is our Derby Dreamer on the outside in fourth. Dropping in 5, that is Electric Days. Along the inside in 6th is China Die. Dropping in 7th is Unexpected Return. Away in 8th is Kiss This Goodbye. In 9th and trailing the field is Moonlight Glitz, and Sandy Beatty can see them all as they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And on top, Perfect Daiquiri and the K-Man on top here through the initial quarter of 29 1/5. They'll pass the stand for the first time and head on down to the half, and Perfect down remaining. Along the inside in 4, that is Glowing Siren. Trying to catch the cover flow to the outside in 5 is China Die. Third over on the outside in 6th is Unexpected Return. Pinned in along the rail, racing in 7th. As they step around the clubhouse turn is Electric Days to the outside, racing in 8th there. Kiss This Goodbye in 9th, and trailing the field to the inside, that is Moonlight Glitz. They stepped off the half in 1 minute and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Perfect Daiquiri, leading the way here by a length and a half. Up on the outside, our Derby Dreamer can't go on from second and swung up 3 wide around that one. There goes China Die, and now China Die is looking the leader in the eye. Along the inside, Shocking Magic is going along in 3rd. The inside in 4th is Glowing Siren as they race by 3/4 on the board in 1:30 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Perfect Daiquiri to the inside, to the outside China Die. These two are on inseparable terms. Now swung up 3 wide to the outside. Here comes Shocking Magic off the turn in less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. China Die now strikes the front to the inside. Trying to battle back is Perfect Daiquiri to the inside. Glowing Siren way out wide. Shocking Magic, but as they roll within the final 16, China Die in front. Glowing Siren gets up for second. Perfect Daiquiri was third. Top of the mile here, 1:59 3/5. China Die and a new lifetime mark. The show. One, 2-9-3 is now official. 1-2-9-3 official. Trackside of the winner's circle to do lifetime mark 1:59 3. Scoring from off the rail. Here's the one, China Die. A 4-year-old bay mare by Die Laughing out of a China Beach. She by Sun Sam. By Glenn and Robin Schmidt to Slide Ohio. Trained by Bruce Schmidt. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Bruce Schmidt. Posting the 3rd win in 2003. Do lifetime mark 1:59 3. The one, China Die. Pick 3, 3 of 3, $33 even. 1-2 exact to return $23.60. 1-2-9 try, $185.80. Horses are on the track and printed the post for the 6th race. Condition trot of 1 mile, a purse of $2,200. Scratch the 1, Clayton's Castaway sick. Scratch the 6, Bridgewater Bay sick. And the 8, Super Bandit is also out sick. The 2 is Power Hall. My Budweiser Best Bet of the Night is owned by Joseph Palermo III of Ocean Ridge, Florida. Trained by Jay Sears, Kyle Wader at the lines. The 3 is Mario's Kickstart with the Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio. Trained and driven by Harold Dick. The 4 is Lady Gracia, owned by Clarence You Can Call Me Sonny DeLong of Oriental Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with a K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 5, Emma Star, owned, trained and driven by Michael Myers of Groveport, Ohio. The 6, Bridgewater Bay is out sick. The 7, Little Joe by Parker of Canal, Winchester, Ohio, and Berger of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Douglas Parker, Bob Harper. The 8 is Super Bandit is out sick. And the 9, Umbro Wagner, owned by Joanna and Charles and Christopher Beaver of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Chris Beaver, Sandy Beatty, and the Sulky. Sick. Field swing to the back stretch. They're in the hands of the starter. Field in motion. They're all fan trotting and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes the 5, Emma Star. Driving through from the inside, there is Power Hall. Got to the outside, 3 deep, there is Little Joe. Trotting in 4, that is Mario's Kickstart. Away in 5, that is Lady Gracious. And 6th and trailing the field, that is Umbro Wager Can See 'Em All. As they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and Power Hall is on the front end here and is seating Little Joe in the garden spot, racing into. Along the inside, Emma Star is trotting in 3rd. As they move towards the opening quarter came and went in 28 3/5. They'll trot by the stand for the first time and head on down to the half, and on top of the field, Power Hall is leading the way here for Kyle Later by length and a half. Along the inside, Little Joe is trotting in 2nd to the garden spot. Along the inside in 3rd is Emma Star. Trotting in 4th, that is Mario's Kickstart. A gap of 6 lengths. Trotting there in 5, that is Umbro Wager and off stride, and back down trotting in 6th is Lady Gracious. As they trot around the clubhouse turn and step towards the half, you're 1 to 2. Punter's Choice, Power Hall leads them by the half. They're halfway home in 59 1/5. Along the inside, Little Joe is doing his best to stick with him in 2. Emma Star can't go on from 3rd. 4th along the inside, that is Mario's Kickstart. 5th on the outside there. As they travel down the backside is Umbro Wager in 6th, and trailing the field, Lady Gracious. 3/8 of a mile remaining, and on top, Power Hall is powering away here, leading it by a length and 3/4. Along the inside, Little Joe is doing his best to stick with him in 2. Swung up on the outside in 3rd. Mario's Kickstart is first over in 3. 4th on the inside, Emma Star, 3/4 in 129 2/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. And Power Hall with the lead here by length and 3/4 under a tippy tap of the whip from Ader leads it here to the inside. Little Joe is now being angled to the outside with less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, driving through Power Alley. Power Hall with the lead here. Little Joe to the inside as they drive within the final 16th. Power Hall, gate to wire. Finishing 2nd, Little Joe. 3rd's going to be the 5, Emma Star. The time of the mile, 1:59 4/5. Power Hall. Sixth race, the 2, Power Hall. Timed here in 1:59 4. An 8-year-old brown horse by Speedy Crown out of a Power Bay. She by Super Bowl by Joseph Palermo III of Ocean Ridge, Florida. Trained by Jay Sears. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Kyle Ader. The 2, Power Hall, Budweiser Best Bet of the Night, is now official. Pick 3, 3 of 3, 9:20. Dream Bunny, sick. Number 1 is Jelly's Best Jam by Michael Bardo, Bradford, Ohio. Trained by Dan Perdue. Kyle Later, the 1, Jelly's Best Jam from Post 1. The 1A is Champagne Diva by Michael Bardo and Danny Perdue, both of the Buckeye State. Trained by Danny Perdue. Jim Daly, the 1A, Champagne Diva from post position 4. The 2 from post 2, Tidal Flow by Steve Jones of Montgomery, New York. Trained by Sam Chip Noble III. Dan Noble is up. The 3, Our Rotten Ruby, is out 6th. The 4, Kate the Great from post 5, owned by the Kentuckiana Racing Stable of Lexington, Kentucky. Trained by Peter Foley with Jeff Ace Nicehunger. The 5 is Powerlicious from post 6, by the Sterling Brook Farms Incorporated of Sheldonville, Massachusetts. Trained by Jim Ortledge Jr., Bob Harper, Ian Hersalke. 5, Gate swings into the back stretch. Field in motion. Getting set for a start. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the outside. There goes Kate the Great. From the inside, there is Tidal Flow. Away in 3rd, that is Champagne Diva. Coming away, racing in 4th is Jelly's Best Jam. Trailing the field in 5 is Powerlicious. As they step around the first turn by the opening 8th and over to the opening quarter, they roll, and on top, Kate the Great and a Nicehunger to the front end here. Tidal Flow will yield for a garden spot. Racing in 2 along the inside. Racing in 3rd, that is Champagne Diva. Away in 4th there, that is Jelly's Best Jam. And 5th and a swing to the outside of there is Powerlicious as they stepped off the opening quarter in 28 seconds flat. They'll pass the stand for the first time and head on down to the half with Kate the Great leading the way here by length and a quarter. Along the inside, Tidal Flow is nose to helmet racing into, and now comes to the outside of there. Off stride momentarily there in 3rd, Champagne Diva, who is rough gated, back down pacing. On the inside in 4th is Powerlicious, and 5th and trailing the field, Jelly's Best Jam as they step towards the half, and on top, Kate the Great leads them here, leads them to the half. They're halfway home in 59 1/5. A second panel with 31 1. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Kate the Great leading the way here. But now charging up on the outside. Here's Champagne Diva, and Champagne Diva on these two on even turns here as they race down the backside. Nearing 3/4, Kate the Great from the inside. Champagne Diva on the outside. Along the inside, Tidal Flow is watching over the doing leaders from third. To the outside, racing in fourth. That is Powerlicious as they wheel by 3/4 and 128 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And Champagne Diva to the front end now. And now over the outside, Powerlicious. Kate the Great can't go with them from third. Fourth on the inside, Tidal Flow. And way back in fifth is Jelly's Best Jam. To the top of the stretch. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Champagne Diva now to the front end here. Powerlicious is coming to her and coming on. Champagne Diva to the inside. Powerlicious on the outside with one final stride. Champagne Diva in front. Powerlicious to go second. Kate the Great was third. Fourth is Tidal Flow, and fifth and last, the one, Jelly's Best Jam. The time of the mile, 1:59. 1:59
Photo
for
the 1A, Champagne Diva. A 2-year-old daughter of Jake Lobel out of a Sam's Noble Lady. She by Noble and Sam by Michael Bardo and Danny Perdue. Well, both of the Buckeyes State trained by Dan Perdue. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Jim Daly. The 1A, Champagne Diva and Jim Daly. Right at the Dan Perdue stable, 1:59 1/5. First career victory. 1-5-4-2 is official. Pick 3, 3 of 3. Return $28 even. 1-5 exacta, 34.60. The one is Vencello Hanover by Carl Mayberry Jr. of Alexandria, Kentucky, trained by George Owens with Bob Harper. The 2 is Oh Man, owned, trained, and driven by Bobby Arnett of Cardington, Ohio. The 3 is Tucson Guy by Gary Adams of Circleville, Ohio, trained by Jerry Kuchbach with Kyle Ader. The 4 is Studley Lamont by Billy Joe Raleigh and Tommy Lee Smith of Kentucky and Ohio, trained by Tommy Lee Smith with Jeff Ace Nicehunger. The 5 is Soft Tiger by Michael Bardo, Bradford, Ohio, trained by Dan Perdue. Jim Daly is up. The 6 is Hammer and Dan by Ronald Ross of Staffordsville, Kentucky, trained by Jeff Brewer, Jason Brewer at the lines. The 7 is No Problem Mon by Hawker, Ferguson, and Smith, all the Buckeye State, trained by Tom Horner Jr. Sandy Beatty is at the lines. The 8 Gigabyte Bluegrass is out judges. The 9 Staley Lane by Marvin Godown of Greenville, Ohio, trained and driven by Kane Kaufman, and scoring from off the second tier, number 10 Swayze Bullet by Randy Parker of Franklin, Ohio, trained by Robert Davis. Dan Noble in the sulky.
Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. There goes Tucson Guy from the inside. There is Vencello Hanover driving up from the outside. There is Staley Lane. Got to the outside there. Racing in fourth is Oh Man. Inside in 5 is Swayze Bullet. 6 there is Studley Lamont. 7th along the inside is Hammer and Dan. 8th along the inside there. That is Soft Tiger. And 9th and trailing the field. But to the outside there, that is No Problem Mon. As they step towards the opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went in 27 3/5. And Tucson Guy on the front end here for Kyle Ader, leading it by a length and a quarter. Right there, nose to helmet into, that is Vencello Hanover. Staley Lane was forwardly placed in third. Fourth, that is Oh Man. Fifth is Swayze Bullet. Sixth there, that is Studley Lamont. 7th along the inside, that is Hammer and Dan. A move to the outside, and 8th is No Problem Mon. And 9th and trailing the field, that is Soft Tiger. As they step towards the half and race around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half, and it's Tucson Guy fronting the field here by a length and a half. Along the inside, Vencello Hanover is going along in 2. They're off the half in 58 2/5. Along the inside, Staley Lane is racing in third. Off the turn and driving down the backside, and on top with the lead, Tucson Guy leads it here by a length and a quarter. Along the inside, now coming to the outside, here's Vencello Hanover. Staley Lane along the inside is racing in third. Second over the outside, racing there in fourth, that is Studley Lamont. As they approach the 3/4 mile mark of the race, and from the inside, Tucson Guy applying heavy pressure on the outside of Vencello Hanover. 3/4 and 128 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Tucson Guy to the inside. Vencello Hanover to the outside and awaiting the passing lane. That is Staley Lane as they come to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Tucson Guy is being put to the test. Vencello Hanover now to the passing lane. Here comes Staley Lane, and Staley Lane is charging hard to the passing lane. Staley Lane, Oh Man, is coming on, but it's Staley Lane in front. Finishing second was the 2, Oh Man. Third was the 1, Vincello. Hand over the time of the mile, 1:57, 3/5, Staley Lane. Well, trackside of the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of the 8th race, claiming handicap pace. Here's the 9, Staley Lane. A 6-year-old bay horse by Rock Legend out of a Justina Zephyr. She by Warm Breeze. By Marvin Go Down to Greenville, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 9, Staley Lane, 1:57, 3/5. 9-2 exacta returns. 285.80, 9-2-1 try. We'll get back to that. Pick 3, 3 of 3, 425.40. Trifecta 9-2-1 returns $1,147.60. The 9, Staley Lane and Kane Kaufman, 1:57, 3/5. Change, that being on the 6, Cam Sailor, should read as William Walton and Philip Dish of Ohio and Wisconsin. William Walton and Philip Dish of Ohio and Wisconsin. Field at 10, post time, 10:11, 11 minutes away.
Ninth race. Horses are on the track. Pray to the post for the 9th race. Stallions and Geldings. Condition claiming pace at 1 mile. A purse of $2,500. Exacta trifecta first half of the late daily double. Field at 10. No changes. The 1 is the Big Wazoo. My Bud Light long shot of the night is owned by John Nelson, parent of Lebanon, Ohio, with Daniel Noble. The 2 is Oz Shade by Bryden Ball, Diamond Chip Stable in Mogan. They're all of the Buckeye State, trained by Scott Mogan, Kyle Later. The 3 is Thunderbird by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. The 4 is Sam's Noble Bird by Parker of Canal, Winchester, Ohio, and Berger of Columbus, Ohio, trained by Doug Parker with Kane Kaufman. The 5 is Jet Smoke Joe by Kevin McQuinn of Cincinnati, Ohio, trained by Scott McQuinn with Jason Brewer. The 6 is Cam Sailor by William Walton and Philip Dish. They're of Ohio and Wisconsin, trained and driven by Bob Harper. The 7 is I See Why You Envy Me by David Decker of Thompson, Georgia, trained and driven by Jeff Collins. The 8 is Western Ken by Sean Mayhew of Canal, Winchester, Ohio, trained by Clarence Mayhew Jr. Sean Mayhew is up. The 9, Dragon Magic, owned by Helen Ralston of Menden, Ohio, trained by Sam Albright. Sam Albright at the lines, and scoring from off the 2nd tier, number 10, Tricky Surprise by Richard Hokinson of Midway, Kentucky, trained by Tommy Smith. Jeff Ace Nicesonger.
To kick off the late daily double, field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing middle of the track. There's the 4, Sam's Noble Bird, who's on the go there as they race into the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Sam's Noble Bird is trying to clear here. Up on the outside, I See Why You Envy Me. Oz Shade along the inside is racing there as they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. And Oz Shade from the inside, I See Why You Envy Me. A handful there is being settled back in third as they go over to the opening quarter. This will be a quick one. 27 seconds flat. On top of the field, Oz Shade leads them here by length and a quarter. To the inside, the Big Wazoo has come away in the garden spot, racing in second. I See Why You Envy Me is going along in third. A gap of 6 lengths, racing in fourth. Sam's Noble Bird, gap of 6 more, racing in fifth. That is Tricky Surprise. To the outside of there in sixth is Cam Sailor. 7th along the inside, Thunderbird. Move to the outside in 8th is Dragon Magic. 9th along the inside, Jet Smoke Joe. And 10th and trailing the field, but swung to the outside. That is Western Ken as they move by the half in 57 seconds flat. A second panel there at 30 seconds. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 with Oz Shade showing the way here by length and a half. Along the inside, the Big Wazoo is still right there, nose to helmet, racing in 2. Along the inside, I See Why You Envy Me is inching up closer in 3rd. 4th to the inside, Sam's Noble Bird closing the gap there in 5. That is Cam Sailor as they wheel by 3/4 and 126 and 1/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And Oz Shade with the lead here and extends it and opens up by 4.5, 5. To the inside, the Big Wazoo could not go with him in second. Swung to the outside in third. I See Why You Envy Me. To the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down down the stretch they drive, and All Shade is all over this field, showing his heels to the field. All Shade, gate to wire. Finishing second, the 1, the Big Wazoo. Third was the 7, I See Why You Envy Me. The time of the mile, 1:54, 2/5. All Shade in a new lifetime mark. Trackside of the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of the 9th race, Stallions and Geldings, condition claiming pace, timed in 1:54, 2/5 to establish a new lifetime mark for the 2, All Shade. 3-year-old brown colt by Shady Character out of a Remember Me Always. She by In the Pocket by Bryden Bond, the Diamond Chip Stable, and Scott Mogan. They're all the Buckeye State, trained by Scott Mogan, very capably driven by Kyle Lader. That's 2 wins on this evening's program for Kyle Lader, giving him a driving double. The 2, All Shade, now your official winner to lifetime mark, 1:54, 2/5. 2-1 exacta 1560, 2-1-7 trial. We'll get back to that. Pick 3, 3 of 3, 264.60. 2-1-7 trifecta, 2-1-7, 107.80.
The 4 and 2, 380, 260, 240. Second was the 1, the Big Wazoo, returning $4, 280. Is that 280 out there, Jeff?
280.
And third was the 7, I See Why. Kathy Hawk brings about for tonight's 10th and final race. Stallions and Geldings, condition pacers, a 1 mile, a purse of $2,000. Exacta, trifecta, superfecta, wagering a field of 10, no changes. The 1 is Hard Candy Christmas, owned by Autry, and Magliuchetta of Ohio and Illinois, trained by David Perry with Jeff Neisonger. The 2 is Our General by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 3 is Good Goin' Sam, owned and trained by Dale Horney of Washington Courthouse, Ohio, with Jeff Smith. The 4 is The Upsetter by June Stone of Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Eddie Pauling with Dan Noble. The 5 is Magical Nuke by Robert Rhodes of Obentz, Ohio, who also does the training. Jim Daly is up. The 6 is The Terrific Tao, owned and trained by John Nelson Perrin of Lebanon, Ohio, Sandy Beatty. The 7 is Breezy No Blue by Frank Castle of Staffordsville, Kentucky, trained by Jeff Brewer. Jason Brewer is up. The 8 is Mystical Spur by Dick James of Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Tommy Smith. Bob Harper from the outside of the 9 is Hot Rod Jack. Lessee is also the trainer and driver, Jack Franklin of Xenia, Ohio, and scoring from off the second tier, number 10, Nick Austin. With a bed stable of Sunbury, Ohio, trained by Daryl Hoosier with a K-man, Kane Kaufman.
Field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing from the inside. There goes Our General. Right alongside is Good Goin' Sam. From the inside there is Hard Candy Christmas. Driving up from the outside, that is the Terrific Chow, who looks to go in there in 4th. From off the second tier in 5 is Nick Austin. Caught to the outside of there in 6th is Hot Rod Jack. 7th there along the inside as they pace around the first turn, the Upsetter. 8th along the inside, that is Magical Nuke, and the 2 trailers are Breezy No Blue and Mystical Spur, and Bob Harper can see them all. By the opening quarter in 27 and 4, they'll pass by the stand for the first time and head on down to the half. And on top of the field, Our General and Dean Collins on the front end here, just where he likes it, leading it by a length and a half. Hard Candy Christmas used the wet rail very well here to his advantage, has landed the garden spot in 2. First over the rim, racing in 3rd. Here comes Nick Austin along the inside. Good Goin' Sam is racing in 4th as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. On top with the lead here, Our General, your even money punter's choice. Took him to the half in 57 and 4/5. A second panel with 30 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. And Our General with the lead here. Along the inside, racing into Hard Candy Christmas. First over the rim, racing in 3rd, Nick Austin. Along the inside, racing 4th, that is Good Goin' Sam. Second over the outside, racing in 5, the Upsetter. 6th along the inside of the Terrific Towel. Swung to the outside of there in 7, Hot Rod Jack. And the 3 trailers here are Breezy No Blue, Magical Nuke, and swinging to the outside, 10th and last, Mystical Spur. They went by 3/4 and 1:26 and 4/5. They'll pace the final turn and head to the top of the stretch. And on top, Our General is rocking away by 4. To the inside, Hard Candy Christmas could not go with him. Off the turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch he comes. It's all Our General, and he's rolling away here. Our General, the battle's on for place and show. Our General in front. Good Goin' Sam to go second. The Terrific Tao was 3rd. Hard Candy Christmas rounds out the super. The time of the mile, 1:56. 3/5, Our General. Trackside of the winner's circle, the official winner of the 10th and final race, pacing home in 1:56 and 3. The 2, Our General, gate to wire. A 10-year-old bay horse by Tanner's Big Guide of a Cortland Cassie. She by Albatross by Reed Racing of Newark, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven by Dean Collins. The third win in 2003, 156-3. The 2, Our General and Dean Collins. Late double, 2-2, 1180. Pick 3, 3 of 3, 190 even. 2-3 exacta, $23 even. 2-3-6 try, return to $53.40. 2-3-6-1 super, $346. Late pick 3, 9-2-2, 190 even. 2-3-6-1 super again, $346.40.